Jah, come for the world, for I find myself black and female in a system that fails, nothing more than unfair.
Hello Barbados, what's good? It's your girl, the glamorous rebel, just here chilling on a beautiful election day. In fact, election day is the only reason why I know it's the 21st. First I want not necessarily apologize, but say sorry, I guess, to whoever might have missed me. I found myself to be on a little hiatus, not purposely, but because I do things when I feel like doing them, and I didn't feel like blogging. I suppose it was off of sugar, so I must was a little bit miserable. I still kind of ease off for it though, and I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, but I ain't had no good way to put it. And isn't the season for burning bridges right now? Sometimes you don't need to cuss every and anything. It's not always productive, even though what you're saying might be true. So I decided not to have much to say, but it's good to be back, and I'm feeling good, and I got some stuff to talk to you guys about today. As it is election day, let me start with the elections. What is the difference between an election and an erection? Whenever there's an erection present, everybody gets excited. It's either a problem or something needs to be done. An itch gotta get scratched, something gotta happen. Then when it happens, sometimes there's a lot of regret after. Sometimes nothing don't really change. Hardly ever is what happens from it really as good as it seemed like if it would be earlier up. Because if it doesn't happen in the right situation, then everybody that is involved get frigga in the end. Isn't an election similar to that? Every time when elections come around, all of a sudden everybody thinks that it's their God-given right to vote, and they have all these choices. I'm here wondering, isn't the choice not to vote your God-given right too? Because really and truly, just like an arranged marriage, it's like your parents tell you, look, either you're going to marry Bob or you're going to marry Douglas, and that's the end. That's the two choices that you have. Bob is a nice guy sometimes, but his feet stink, his poop stink, and he has a lot of secrets. Douglas look good, but he's a bully. Make your choice. If you don't choose Bob or Douglas, they make you feel you don't have a choice. But you do have a choice to remain single. I saw Salt wrote a manifesto. FOUP, FOUP. And at least he gets it. It's a pity that Salt isn't actually a politician, because at least he gets it. And all across Facebook I see people saying, I vote him for Salt. Now let me talk to one about some choices that really matter. Since I live in Barbados for most of my life, and the truth of it is, most of the changes that I noticed have been for the worse. And to be honest, the only time I've never seen Carrie Simmons, never. And the only time I've ever seen, I forget his name right now, so he lucky, is last week when I was extremely nice to him, and I'm sure he thinks I'm a D. I was nice because that's the quickest way to get rid of people. Just be manly and let them go along. I don't take up for a ridge, and I don't get caught up. If I was a politician, we all know in Barbados what's not being done. We don't have to sit down and talk about the other party. They always act like if they're two exes, Oh, well, he do this, and he do that, and he do the next, and he do that. And then the other side said, well, she do this, and she do that. And at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. That is not helping me, though. Barbados is like the child, and they're like two bickering exes. We want to know where we can live, what can happen to we. We ain't really want to hear what he do and what she do, and then God pick the best of the worst. Huh? This attitude that the politicians displaying, right? Where they want to throw all these parties and keep a lot of noise all through the night, right? But then now when people that actually trying to hold facts, trying to hold something is get so much problems, I'm not really seeing the point. I'm not really understanding it at all. I don't really see a choice. But you know, if you feel like you see a choice and you see difference in your community and blah 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 blah, then it's, yeah, you can use your right to vote. But I'm wondering, suppose no one voted, huh? Because this is a democracy and the people have rights. Suppose that we decide we don't want none of the two. What would happen then? That would be interesting. On to other things. And remember, elections and erections are not much different from each other. Both of them are the same thing. Just remember that. When it comes around, everybody get excited. Something gotta happen. But sometimes when something happens, it doesn't work out good for nobody. Anyhow. Choices. We have to be aware of our choices. Recently, as I said, I was on a little diet. I wasn't feeling well. I decided to go sugar-free. I am the cupcake queen. Oh, that's another thing. I mean, neither the BLP nor DLP have never supported my business. The government said we need entrepreneurs, but the government don't give the entrepreneurs or anybody who works for them money in a timely manner that people can survive. Nobody don't want the government work and can't get no money. So, you know, maybe y'all should have bought a cupcake if you wanted to vote, dude. On to other things. We need to be very cognizant of the fact that we can choose. We can choose what to eat. We can choose who to sleep with. We have choices. We can choose. And we can choose not to eat. We can choose not to sleep with somebody. We can be single. We don't have to choose Doug or Bob or whatever the two names I came up with earlier. We don't have to. We can be disengaged. Everything that we choose, every way how we live is a choice. And we are so much a product of our choices. You know, and we unfortunately we're the product of our ancestors' choices too. And the ones who come after us, our children, are a product of our choices as well. So if we make a bad decision as far as who our child's father or mother is, then not only do we have to live with that choice, but so does our child. And we need to understand the power that we have in choice and use it, you know, to benefit us and our families. I feel as though people get caught up, we get excited, we see something, and we all get into this no thing. Now, Eckhart Tolle, he's a writer, you should look him up if you don't know who I'm talking about, talks about the power of no. Recently, we did a Kamal Brathwaite workshop, and I bought his book, one of them, he has so many, but I'm learning, and there's something that you see whenever you see people, a lot of people that are called great writers or whatever. A lot of it is about choices, about what they choose to do, what they choose to talk about, what they choose to highlight. And Kamal, he wrote about lots of things, but when he highlights the different issues with a black man and how he's writing in the first person and talking about how you feel, you understand how the choices of other people have affected the black person. Then now I come to a person like Eckhart Tolle, who's there writing about what you can do now, what you can do with your choices. The truth of the matter is that despite all of these situations that you get thrown into, that big bubble of whatever that you get put into, you understand? It's like I have a piece I say, Jah come for the world for I find myself, black and female in a system that fails, nothing more than unfair, and they put me for sale. And that's where you find yourself as a black female. I'm born like this, can't do nothing about it even if I wanted to, which I don't. And much of the system does fail, and they do put you for sale as a woman. As a black woman, you feel as though you have to sell out to get somewhere. You feel as though you have to work twice as hard as even a black man to get respect. It's difficult. And within that, sometimes we get so caught up within the choices of others that we forget that we have our own choices. But we always have our own choices, and we need to use those choices to benefit ourselves. So you see, like for instance, what you put in your body. There are some people, they're vegan, they're different things. There are all sorts of different people. You have a choice to find out what happens to the animals that you eat if you eat meat. You have the choice to find out where the vegetables come from that you eat and what benefits they are to your body. You have to realize, well, hey, you know, my body is having an allergic reaction to sugar. I just keep getting bigger and bigger and swelling up. Maybe I could come off it a little bit. And this is from a person who sells cupcakes, because I believe everything in moderation is fine, but when you overdo it, it's overdone. We have all these choices, and we need to take them seriously, pick them up with pride, and understand that we do have control over lots of things that happen. Not everything. And you know, I believe in God, so I believe you need to say a prayer and work hard. Speaking of saying a prayer and work hard, you know, that's all I do. And, you know, sometimes I feel like Midas, because if I touch something long enough, it starts to turn to gold. But it's been, you know, a long, hard trot for me still, but I do see the blessings. And I believe I'm learning. And it's important, you know, to have lessons in everything you do. Now, right now, I started an event called the Arts Line because I felt all the arts need to come together. It can't just be performance arts every time you go somewhere. And it can't just be entertainers, because there's a difference between an artist and an entertainer. One is a foolish Johnny that cares about what people think in order to make money. And one is a person who really stays true to themselves and keeps continuing. Now, I say that and I shouldn't say that. That's bad, Selena. Don't say that, because at the end of the day, I guess if a person decides they want to be an entertainer as a job, that's their business. But you must understand that as an entertainer, most of the time, in a lot of ways, you're not much different to a prostitute. It's all about how much of yourself you're willing to sell to make $1. However, an artist, right, that's where the real talent can get a chance to shine, when a person decides to remain an artist, make music or whatever for the love of it, you know, and not sell out, you know, not paint bare green monkey pictures because that's what the tourists buying. You know, at the end of the day, if that's what the tourists like, you can still do that, and that can be your job, because I don't see that as selling out. But what about what you really want to paint? Is that still there? And that's the question. Are you forsaking your art and who you really are in order to make $1? Because we have become entertainers, and we have forgotten, you know, how to stay true to our inner selves, and it is a problem. Now, I started doing this event called the Arts Line, as I was saying, and so far so good. We're beginning. Every line has been full. Every line has had great feedback. Every line has had new faces. And we have an open mic. And this time we're having one. It's called Power Her and Synergy. With H's in it to celebrate the female. We're going to have Aisha Noura. I'm sure if you've heard of her, you would know she's absolutely divine. She's some people call her my twin. She doesn't look that much like me, but she has the same description, and I embrace it. So my twin, Aisha, and she's going to be doing some of her spoken word and I guess talking a little bit. She's an empowerment motivator, and she might not see things how you do, but she's definitely worth listening to. So come with an open mind if you're coming. It's this Sunday at Jago's Bar and Grill, which is in Paynes Bay, St. James. You can search for the event on Facebook. It's public, D, literal capital D, Arts Line. And you can look at the map, see where it is. Come through. If you know anybody that's an artist, come through. This thing is real. We doing this thing. We're gonna go on an island tour. We're having a boat tour in March, and basically all we're really doing is pushing the arts to the max and allowing there to be an unbiased place for people to perform, a place where it's not based on who you know and who you are and stuff. Come and do the open mic. Sign up to be featured. You know, if you're doing something that's derogatory to women or that can be seen as definitely negative, we don't support that. That's not being biased. That's being pro-life and caring about life and people. But as far as your genre, whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you're trying your best and you're bringing out something of quality, we will push it. Now the question is, how do you decide if something is of quality or if it's not? But that's a question like, how do you decide if somebody's pretty or not? A woman walk in the room and everybody can admit she's pretty, then she's pretty. A woman walk in the room and one person says she's pretty and everybody else like to make sure she might not be that good looking. People like to act as though the truth don't exist and that it's all relative. But as relative as it is in a family, to me, I know what I mean when I say something is good and when I say something won't work. And often if people would do a little work, we would be better off. As for me, I'm doing a little work. I'm working on some new music. And I'm performing at something on Saturday. I'm going to put up the flyer at the end of this blog. Also try to perform at the Art Slam on Sunday. Besides Aisha Noura, we have the amazing LXP, the League of Extraordinary Poets, coming through. And the theme, as I said, is all about women, so it's going to be uplifting pieces. I'm sure everyone has a woman in their life that they love, you know, and the thing about women is the reason why we have to actually have things targeting them is because they aren't celebrated enough. It's because they aren't respected enough. So we can pay our part to respect and love women, and as I said, keep in touch because lots of stuff going on this year because the Art Slam is going on tour. So with that said, I want to say one love. Remember your choices. Remember that what you choose to put in your body is your body's going to reflect it by how you live and how you feel. Remember that what you choose to watch, what you choose to fill your mind with is going to affect how you deal with people, your personality, you know, and make good solid choices. Who you choose to hang out with, you know, could get you shot or get you rich. You know, you got to make positive choices. And I mean, how you choose to treat people too makes a big difference. There's some people, the other day a girl said to me, oh, you wrote me a poem and I lost it. And I forgot that I wrote her a poem, but I met her later, I wrote her a poem, and I mean, I know that she still loved me for that all these years from now, but I'm sure then that if somebody was like, Rebel Glam is getting on our blog and talk beer shit, she's an idiot, she'd be the first person to say, you don't know Rebel Glam, she's a great person. People that you put stuff into will remember you. So put something in a child, an adult, and an old person today. Oh, and that's the last thing I want to say. I gave my CD to some of my clients. I have some clients I have every year, and so far I got some nice feedback from some people in Canada that said that they listened to it and they liked it. Don't just get stuck thinking about Barbados and this 166 square miles. There's a lot of life outside of Barbados, and Beijing seem to forget that and are always so impressed to find out that there's something beyond the shores besides seawater. But there is. However, Barbados is blessed. We have lots of talent, and if we would only embrace that, we would be better. When I see some politicians about the place looking to really push Beijing as #1 and change the mentality, you understand, this mentality where they get on their trucks and they play bear dub and bear bashment and everything from a different country and all bundle cocky and poom poom when they're supposed to be playing something that is at least local, saying the same thing but preferably saying something uplifting, then I could understand. But when you come in to tell people, oh, we got what you like, we wanna like bashment, we could be bashy, y'all are doing nothing for the country to uplift the country whatsoever. And it's not that I have anything against bashment, but a woman or a man who don't know time and place is an ass, and that's the truth. Anyway, I don't know when I'm gonna blog again, but I'm gonna blog again. One love, love and respect, all of that, and I hope that you're good
For
today
sale,
and every day.
for sale, for sale. There's a price tag on my soul and my dark back full of holes.